So in the last sessions, we were discussing about the Python loops. We started with the for and we also discussed the for loop, comparison between the two loop and few exercises have been discussed through hands-on sessions, right? And in this session today, we are going to discuss the remaining two looping statements, which are break and continue. Okay, and also we have a revisit of the logic and bit operations in the chapter 3. Okay, what is break and how it differs from continue? So far we have in the if structures a while loop and for loop, we have treated the body of the loop as an indivisible and inseparable sequence of instructions. So all these control structures, if, else, nested if, while loops and for loops, they treat the loop body, okay, or the control body, the indented block as an indivisible and inseparable sequence of instructions. Those are performed completely at every turn of either the conditions or every turn of the loop. However, as a learner, yeah, a developer or a teacher, instructor, we could be faced with choices. Okay, for example, it appears that it is unnecessary to continue the loop as a whole. I don't want to continue the loop because in the while, okay, so we might have experienced while if the condition is true, the complete block will be executed. Okay. So it is unnecessary to continue the entire loop, the loop as a whole. And we want to have a selection of our choice. So we should refrain from the further execution of the loop's body and go further. Okay. So I hope you understood the point. And it appears that we need to start the next turn of the loop without completing the execution of the current turn. Okay, so we want to have our customized execution, not going with the standard format while the condition expression is to executing the complete body. If the expression is false, the loop body will not be executed even once. Okay, so we may have a question, why should we do it as per the control? Why that control should not be given taken by the programmer or the learner. So we need to start the next turn of the loop without completing the execution of the current turn. So for this purpose, Python provides two special instructions for the implementation of both tasks. The two instructions are number one break and number two, the second one is continue. So the break instruction, please note it's an instruction. Break is of course a keyword, reserved word, which has a predetermined meaning in the programming. And here it is termed as considered as an instruction. Okay, so what does this instruction keyword do? The break statement or the break instruction exits the loop immediately and unconditionally. Okay, the break statement leaves the loop immediately and unconditionally ends the loop operation, which means the program begins to execute the nearest instruction after the loop's body. Okay, if the statement appears inside the loop body, then the effect of the break instruction is it will exit the loop, leaves the loop immediately and unconditionally ends the loop operation, which means the program begins to execute the nearest instruction after the loop body. Okay, so let us check with an example. I'll open the Python editor, okay, to understand break instruction. So let me have a simple program. Define a variable list is equal to accept of string type input, enter a string. enter a string. Okay. Right? Okay. Now for the control variable followed by a keyword in and the range list, finally a colon at the end if val is equal to I, a character. Since it is a if structure, then we have a colon at the end. Break, we are introducing the instruction break. Okay, special instruction break, right? So after that, it should, the next instruction is print val. So this program, the Python snippet, accept a string, a line or a text, and it will check whether if there is an existence of the character I. So for the control variable is val, value in the list, checks the condition in the list. List is nothing but a text. So once the variable encounters the character I, it will stop execution. So exits the loop immediately and unconditionally ends the loop operation. Okay, the condition will be stopped unconditionally. After then, the program begins to execute the immediate next nearest instruction, print val. Print val, that which means for val in the list. So all those characters up to the existence of appearance of I will be printed. Is it clear? So accept a string, scan the string from left to right for variable in the list. Okay. So when the character I is encountered, stop the process, break, exit the loop immediately and unconditionally ends the loop operation. Okay. Next, the program begins to execute the immediate instruction, print val. So in a text, up to previously to the I, all the characters are displayed. Right? Let me run the state program. Run break 4. Enter a string. Right? Programming. Okay, so we have entered a string, a text programming. So for val I in list, so it will start from the traverse will start from the first character, second character, third character. If val is equal to I, if val. So when the variable during the traversal identifies, understands there is a character I matching, if there is a match, then the instruction is initiated. Okay, so this break instruction exit the loop immediately. It will stop once I matching is done, right? So exit the loop immediately and unconditionally ends the loop operation. The operation is stopped. Okay, then later the program begins to execute the nearest instruction is print. So up to, okay, so from the first character till the character prior to the matching are displayed, right? Let me enter. Okay, so they are list, since it is a list, they have been displayed one after the other. So all the characters are printed, PROGRAMM. So the next character is I, as there is a match. If val is equal to I, okay, break. Okay, so the loop exits immediately and ends the operation unconditionally. So after next print, display all the characters which is stored in the variable val. Okay. So as a, there is a matching and up to the character is matched, all the characters are displayed. Now we may have a question, what if does not match? What if there is no match? Let me enter Python, right? Now what will be the output? Can you guess what will be the output? Right. So the Python, a string is stored in the variable list for val in list. Okay, starting to scan from left to right. If val is equal to I, so from the string, from the input string, it is understood there is no matching. There is no character I appears in the entered input. Okay. Since there is no issues, mistakes in the statement, it will work. Break statement. So the loop will be stopped. Exit the loop and unconditionally exit the operation when there is a I. Okay. But there is no I in the entered input. Now what will be the output? Can you guess? Will we get output? If yes, what will be the output? If no, what kind of error we have? So this program has it's running. Okay, so right. So there is no issues, bugs in the statement. So as a result, it is okay, got executed. Let me run it again. We have entered the word Python. Can you guess the output of this program? So when there is no matching in the string, when there's no match in the list, what will happen? So our statement is if a variable, the control variable matches with the character, then break. If there is no match, if none of the characters matches with the control variable, it is very simple. Okay, so the break statement has no use. The break statement has no use and all the characters will be printed Python. The input will be reprinted, okay, will be displayed in the output because there is no match. If there is only match, the loop is exit. Okay, so unconditionally ends the loop operation only if there is some match. Okay, so the input string has no match with the control variable. So as a result, the break statement will not work. Okay, but still we have applied the control variable to trace the string from left to right, Python, and finally the last end of the line, a null character. So from the first character till the last character, there is no match. Okay, obviously the break statement has no role. Okay, and finally the print val display all the characters in the list Python. Is it clear? Any doubts? Yes, full string will come out as an output. Correct. Right. Let us have, okay, so I got a response from David. Yes, thank you, David. Right. Let us clear the output, run the program again. Right. Fine. Enter a string. Okay, so Jason David has come out with the correct answer. So let us type with his name, Jason David. If val is equal to I, break, print. So what will be the expected output? JASON, a blank space, DAV. When there is a match, the loop operation ends unconditionally and the program begins to execute the next immediate instruction, print val. It's a control variable which collects the character from first till the match. So the expected output is JASON blank space DAV. Right? So the for, okay, we had applied the break statement inside the for loop. So again, I'd like to remind you the for will run only once. After the execution, I will notice the process finished. I would like to repeat the same checking condition without terminating the process. Okay, so how can we do it? With the help of for loop. By using the for loop, we can continue or check the process repeatedly as long as we like to have. Okay, so now I'll modify the snippet while I'll introduce the while loop. While list is not equal to end. Okay, since it is a while loop, we should have a colon at the end. Then the statement followed by the loop should be entered in the indented block. So I push one tab space. Okay, so the while till the end, we repeat the process. Okay, in single execution, we'll be checking with multiple input, the nature of the program, right? So it is necessary to, after that, we have to stop the while loop by having the keyword. Okay, so list is equal to string of input function, enter next string or end to stop, right? Okay, so while the expression is true, the statement, the loop body will be executing. Okay, so once we find we don't require to check further, then this condition, this statement will help us to terminate the process, right? This modified program, let me run it. Enter a string. Okay, programming, right? PROGRAMM. When there is a match, okay, then the loop body is terminated and the next instruction is executed. So as a result, PROGRAMM. And now have you noticed, enter the next string. Enter the next string. Online session. The next string is ON. Then we have a blank space L. After L, it is I. So if val is equal to I, the control exits the loop immediately and the loop operation is ended. Okay, if you like to check one more statement, Python, right? So there are in this input we don't have a match I, hence the full string, the text is displayed. Okay, so it is executed only once. In single execution, we repeatedly check the nature, the characteristics of the program in the while loop. Okay, so now we have come to the stage, enough of checking, we need to stop. So end. Enter next string or type end to stop the process. Now the process finished. The while loop has been terminated. Okay, so like this we can extend the program by having the addition of more features, programming features. So if structures, while loop, for loop, using other statements, instructions. So by practice that we learn more and we apply our logic, our programming skills and make the program as effective. So to check the our input string, if it is simple if condition, we have to run thrice. Okay. By having the while loop, it is a single execution and all the checking part have been done in one execution. Right? Any doubts? Okay. So break exits the loop immediately and the loop operation is ended unconditionally. Then the next statement, the nearest instruction will be executed. Fine. Coming to the second statement, the special instruction is continue. So this continue, it behaves, this continue statement behaves as if the program has suddenly reached the end of the body and the next turn is started. Next turn is started unconditionally with the conditional expression is tested immediately. Okay, so the continue statement is used to skip the block and move ahead. Continue. Continue means we have to repeat the process. Okay, the current block is skipped and move ahead to the next iteration without executing the statements. Is it clear? So the continue statement is used to skip the current block and move ahead to the next iterations without executing the statement inside the body. Right? For example, let us take a simple exercise, another exercise. Let us write a program with a for loop while that utilizes the concept of conditional execution, maybe if else ladder, and make use of the continue statement. This is our problem statement. Right? Let me again open the PyCharm editor and let us check with the another program. Define a variable, a word, string, input, enter a word, right? Okay, enter a word for a control variable, letter, followed by a keyword in word, the variable, if letter is equal to a, continue. If letter is equal to E, colon, continue. Okay, and let me copy the repeated block. Okay, so hope you have understood what I am trying to explain. A, O, U. Okay, fine. So every elif ladder must end with a else block. Print letter, right? So what is the program? It is a vowel eater. Vowel eater. So when a string, when a word or text is entered, when a text is entered, okay, it checks, the program checks the passage, mean the text, the string or the word from left to right for every occurrence of the vowel. Okay, every occurrence of the vowel will be removed. So this program is a vowel eater, receives the input of a word, a passage or a text, and the vowels will be removed. So the result will be having the output without the vowels. Okay, so this program is called vowel eater. Right? Let me run the program and see. Statement. Okay, so what is the output? STA. If letter is equal to A. So the continue statement used to skip the current block. Please note the continue statement used to skip the current value ST STA. So what is the input we have provided? STA. There is a match. If letter is equal to A, then continue. The continue statement is used to skip the current block, ignores the current block, skip the current block. So A is skipped and continue. Move ahead to the next iteration. Move ahead with the next iteration. Okay. If the letter is A, E, I, O, and U, if any one of the letter appears in the input and it is matching, this continue statement skips the current block, skips the A, E, I, O, U, and move ahead the next statement. ST, the A is skipped and the next character is T. After T again E, it's a vowel. So E is removed, ignored. The next character is M. After M, it is E. Again, it's a vowel. L if letter is equal to E, it is skipped. And it continues till the last character. Okay. So basically the continue statement is used to skip, ignore the current value, current block, and it will not, like unlike break. Please note, break will stop the execution, exit the loop immediately, and loop operation is ended. Whereas continue, what does it do? It just skip the current block and move ahead with the next statement, next character. Okay, next letter in the input. STA. So A is skipped and moved to the next character is T. After T again it is E. E is skipped and moved to the next letter M. Then we have E, it is skipped and moved to the next letter N and T. So finally there are no more input, end of the value, hence the process finished. Is it clear? Have you understood the difference between break and continue? So break exits the loop immediately when there is a matching. Okay, whereas continue, it skips, ignores the current value as per the condition. Okay, and it move ahead to the next iteration, mean followed the character. Is it clear? Okay, let us run again and we'll check with various options. A, E, I, O, U. Right? So a word with all vowels. What will be the output now? Any guess? Okay, so we expect a blank screen because the entire word is a combination of vowels. Okay, so the first letter A, skip, the current state character is skipped. Move to the next character E, again it is a vowel, skipped. Third character, fourth, fifth, all the characters are part of vowels and there is a match in the condition, hence the entire input is ignored, skipped. As a result, we have a blank output. Okay, we'll again check with one more sample input. Learn the program. Okay, so let us have an your task is to design a vowel feeder. Okay, can we check now? So this program should skip the letters A, E, I, O, U. Fine. So Y, O and U are vowel, so they are skipped. The next character is R. We have a blank space. Then we have T. A is skipped. SK, a blank space. I, it is skipped. So we have only S is displayed, followed by a blank space. T, O is a vowel, so hence O is skipped. Then we have a blank space. D, S, G, N. So E and I in this design word is kept, and we have a blank space. Okay. Next we have A, right? So A is obviously the first letter of the vowel. We have blank space, three blank spaces. VOWEL, a blank space, and eta. E and A, EA followed by T and R. So EA, T, E is skipped, R, and the last special symbol. Okay. So the concept of idea, continuous statement is if there is a match, okay, then this continuous statement ignores the specified value. So it need not to be a vowel. It is a sample program I had picked to make you understand. It could be any value. Okay, so in these conditions, whenever we find irrelevant values, irrelevant data, or input could be ignored in a programming with the help of this concept. Fine. So try to understand the difference between break and continue. Break completely stop the execution and the operation is ended. Okay, in case if there is a match. Whereas continue, it just skip the current block and push for the next character or next input. Okay. Any doubts? Any queries or doubts you have? Is it clear? Have you understood the concept of break and continue? Okay. Moving on to the logic and bit operations. So we have discussed earlier also logic and bit in the operators. Right? In the language of logic, so we have a few important terminologies like connections and of conditions, which are called as conjunctions. Okay. So in the language of logic, such as a connection of condition is called conjunctions, which means the appearance of the word and or means the result depends upon at least one of the condition, right? In logic. So I need not to explain about the logic because you people are from electronics and electrical background. You might have also understood, learned, and discussed the concept of logics, logic gates, values, input. Okay, so you know that in logic, such a compound is called a disjunction that applies the OR. So AND is related to conjunctions and OR is called as disjunction. Okay. So it is clear that the Python has operator to build conjunctions and disjunctions. Without them, the expressive power of the language would be, I can say, substantially weakened. So both and or are called logical operators. Okay, and or operator are collectively called as logical operators. One logical conjunction operator in Python is the word and. It is basically a binary operator with a priority that is lower than the one expressed by the comparison operator. The result provided by the AND operator can be determined on the basis of truth table. So let me have a sample truth table. You may go through it. The set of all possible values of arguments and the corresponding values of the conjunction using the AND operator are highlighted here. The possibilities are that could be also equated to the binary values 0, 0, 0, 1, okay, 1 and 0, and 1, 1. Right? So the conjunction and operator results true if both input are true. In binary, it is 1. otherwise it will be false, right? The second case is disjunction operator. A disjunction operator is the word or. A disjunction operator is the word or. It is a binary operator with a lower priority than and. Okay. The truth table for or is it is a well known. If any one of the input is high, 1 or true, it will result true. If both are false, output will be false. Right? So in addition, there is yet another operator which can be applied for constructing conditions. It is called an unary operator. This unary operator performs a logical negation. Its operation is very simple. It turns the truth table, truth into falsehood and falsehood into truth. This operator is written as the word not. This operator is specified as the word not, and its priority is very high, which is similar to the unary operator. So it inverses, complements the input value. So the truth will become falsehood and false will turn into true. Right? So this in general, there are 4 basic operators which allow to manipulate the single bits of data. Collectively, they are called as bitwise operators. So there are 4 operators which allow us to manipulate the single bits of data. These operators cover all the operations we have mentioned used in our earlier discussions, sessions, hands-on sessions. Okay. Ampersand bitwise conjunction. So which requires exactly 2 ones to provide one as the result. Bitwise and. Okay. A vertical line represents a bitwise disjunction, bitwise OR. At least if any one of the input is true, it will result 1. Tilde, which is similar to a negation operator, complement operator, tilde. Right? So we have another special operator called caret. It represents exclusive OR, XOR operations, XOR. If any one of the input is true, it results true. Exactly 1 should be high. Okay. If both are same, 0, 0 or 1, 1, the result is 0. If any one of the input is high, 0, 1 and 1, 0, the result will be 1. XOR operations. Okay. So please note the arguments of all these operators must be integers. We must not use floats here. The difference in the operation of the logical and bit is very important. We had also refer in the logical operators also, but there is a difference between logical and bit operators. The logical operators do not penetrate into the bit level of the argument. They are interested only the final value, but whereas this bit, as the name indicates, bitwise, they have the influence. They influence the bit level of its argument. So bitwise operators are stricter. They deal with every bit separately. Okay. So this is a collective consolidated table of the logical and bit operations. Fine. You can have a look of this. Okay. Fine. So that's all from my side. So we have covered today. We have discussed the 2 special instructions, break, continue, and the logical bit operations. We have revised it again. Right. With this, we have come to the end of today's session.